Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And it's sick out there, and Satan is busy, and all of these elites, all of these people that some of us, well, some of the people out in the world worship and idolize and glorify, they're all part of the same group. You know, this whole Epstein file dump thing, I think they said there was 3 million files that were dumped or something like that. It has everyone in a frenzy, and everybody and their mama thinks that there's something will come of this. I hate to disappoint you. I have no, I mean, is it sad to see? Is it funny to see? Is it shocking? I mean, you read anything about history, the Greeks, the Romans, the Persians, they all had these perverse elites that did sick fucking things. This is no different. But the fact that it's happening in America, and we live in this American bubble where we think everything is perfect here. We're the exceptional people. These things don't happen in America. Well, they do. They happen in America, and we know that they're happening here. But here's the difference between here and everywhere else. There will be absolutely, positively no justified outcome for any of these victims that were brutalized by these billionaires, by these actors and actresses and politicians. Nothing will come of this. There will be not one. I can almost guarantee you there will be not one arrest because of these files. Not one. Now, of course, the conspiracy rumors are there's all these emails that were produced that Epstein might be alive, that he might be here, he might be there. Who gives a shit? It's obvious. It's so obvious now that the guy was a double agent. He was probably working for Mossad. He was a CIA agent. This is a guy who came out of nowhere. He was a math teacher, and some people think he wasn't even qualified to be a math teacher. Then he became a financier. They can't find any records of his Series 7 or any type of, finance degree or finance background. And all of a sudden he gets all this clientele and all these people going to his island. And the things you hear that were going on in this island, that they purposely had black men, black entertainers having sex with blonde white women as some ritualistic thing. We've seen that. We go on X, on any of the porn sites on X. They're all black guys banging white chicks. And all we know who owns the porn industry. Look at what's happening in society today. Look at the movies. Look at the commercials. It's being done right in front of you. We hear even more disturbing claims of babies being mutilated and body parts being eaten and blood being drank and all this other crazy shit. Epstein, it was said that in one little girl's diary, where she begs to be saved by someone, that Epstein was trying to impregnate these young girls and do scientific experiments to make superhumans, or that he had connections with people who wanted to do this. Bill Clinton is all over this. And Donald Trump, the sitting president of the United States, his name is smeared on this thing. I think the number was 5,000 times his name came up. 5,000 fucking times. Elon Musk also coming up saying that he visited the island in 2013. I mean, does any of this really surprise you? Do any of you really believe that anything is going to happen where there will be justice that these victims went through? That they will see a day in court? We're going to see people in handcuffs? No, that's why I'm not really gun ho about this whole topic. I just think it's more of a distraction than anything else. You know now with these files coming out, you know now the greatest distraction in the world is something called war. Right? When you want to distract people from embarrassment, what do? You bomb somebody. Whether the bombing is going to be in Ukraine, whether the bombings are going to be in Iran, whether the bombings are going to be in Qatar, whether the bombings are going to be here, whether the bombings are going to be there, it doesn't matter. When things like this come out, it's a distraction for these elites to buy time so they can bomb somebody into the Stone Age. I mean, they're saying, you look at any news broadcast, they're all predicting that war with Iran is right around the corner. It's imminent. What they're going to get out of this war, we don't know. It'll probably be another disgraceful defeat for the United States. But this whole Epstein file dump that everybody on social media is so excited about, and they're reading the emails and they're looking at the pictures and they're talking about Prince Andrew and they're talking about this Jay-Z and all these fucking people. I mean, what does it get you? Yeah, is it embarrassing to these people? Of course, but nothing's going to happen to them. You're going to buy their records. You're going to go see their movies. George Clooney supposedly was in Europe with Jeffrey Epstein with underage girls. This is the rumor, allegedly. He's going to come out with them. If, let's say, he comes out with a movie next year, people are going to go watch it. All of these people, you hear all of these names. These are people that we spend our hard-earned money to watch and salute and praise. Nicki Minaj was on the Grammys the other night, and she called out all these guys, saying that their mothers are satanic and they've practiced all these satanic rituals and all this good stuff. But who takes Nicki Minaj seriously? This is a girl that was shaking her ass on TV for years. Now every day, new details will emerge. And this is from today, Epstein file 31E NY 3027571. This is from ABC News. It's about 3 minutes. Look at all the faces on here. You notice that the names all have something in common? They all have something in common. Let's see what ABC News has to say.
New details emerge from the millions of newly released Justice Department records on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. They include Epstein's messages with powerful men. In these messages from 2013, the convicted sex offender connecting New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch with various women. In one exchange, Tisch asked about a woman writing pro or civilian. In a statement, Tisch acknowledging a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women, but saying I did not take him up on any of his invitations and never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person and someone I deeply regret associating with. And amongst the thousands of photos, these never-before-seen images of former Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles last year over his relationship with Epstein. Now seen here, crouched over a young woman, her face redacted, the date and context of the interaction unclear. Representatives for Andrew have not responded to a request for comment. Now, even UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is calling for Andrew to testify, saying, I have always said anybody who has got information should be prepared to share that information in whatever form they are asked to do that. And new information unearthed on what exactly law enforcement knew about Epstein's crimes, including this stunning prosecution memo and draft indictment written nearly 2 decades ago. Across 45 pages, prosecutors in Florida detailing disturbing evidence they gathered against the financier, calling him, quote, a continued danger to the community based upon his continued enticement of underage girls. But that 60-count indictment never filed. Instead, Epstein landing a now infamous deal allowing him to plead guilty to lesser state prostitution charges, for which he served just 13 months in a Florida jail. Some of Epstein's victims now furious with the Justice Department, saying many of their names were left unredacted and exposed in this latest release. Epstein survivor Charlene Rochard telling me the Justice Department has once again violated their privacy.
I have seen things that relate to me, and people I know have not been redacted at all. Their full names are out there, and especially Jane Doe's are fully out there. And they asked especially that their names are redacted, and they're just not.
Now, the Justice Department said they did.
Does this surprise anybody? They purposely, they will redact every little thing except these ladies' names. It's clearly to embarrass them. The Justice Department are in on this. There's no justice in the Justice Department. The FBI were in on this. They're protecting themselves. They're protecting their bosses. Because who knows? Maybe some of these FBI people in the higher levels, maybe they were on this island too. And that's why I keep saying, and I will be proven right, nothing will come of this. Nothing at all. Now today, Donald Trump was quizzed on this, and you could tell he's been getting, he's a little pissed off about this, and he's embarrassed. His name is coming up. He got into a heated exchange with a CNN reporter. I forget her name, but she's the one who looks like a man herself. Let's start here.
Ago, you had in your office here Peter Mandelson, the British ambassador. You were shaking hands with him over a trade deal. He's today been forced to resign from the House of Lords, the upper house of the British Parliament, over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Just wondered if you had any reaction to that, since obviously he was.
I didn't know about it, but I really don't know too much about it. I know who he is. It's too bad. It's too bad. Speaking of Epstein, I will say there's a reporter named Wolf, and Epstein conspired. This just came out yesterday in the millions of pages of documents, how crazy this is, conspired against me in order to fight like hell to make sure I lose the election. That's the only thing that was mentioned about me. Now, about Democrats, some really bad stuff, but about me, that Wolf, whoever Wolf is, he wrote a couple of books, and Epstein conspired against me. Did you know that, Mr. Senator?
I did know. And Donnie always makes it about him. Oh, this was an attack on me. This was, personal. Because I'm so squeaky clean, they try to keep me out of the White House. I mean, bro, you came up 5,000 times in this file dump, and I just got from the comments here, from one of the live comments, that Drake, the rapper, is also being in connection with this. It's like I said, it's like George Carlin said, it's a big club, it's a little club, and you ain't in it.
They conspired against me, so I lose the election, or worse. So that takes care of Epstein as far as Trump is concerned.
Oh.
But you got a lot of Democrats out there that are very much involved with Epstein. But I'll be honest with you, you got to get back to running the country too. Millions and millions every week. When Epstein was alive, nobody cared about him. When he's dead, they care about him. But it's really a Democrat problem. It's not a Republican, it's a Democrat problem. The only problem Republicans have is that we have to get back to, number one, running our country, and then number two, very importantly, letting the public know what a great job we're doing. We have the greatest economy in the history of the world. This
guy is delusional. his presidency thus far, even the last 2 years of his first term, which were COVID ridden, have been an unmitigated disaster. He has been such a failure. He hasn't even been entertaining. I mean, he says the same things over and over and over again. And I always thought that when he ran for re-election, that even in those debates, that you could see that he lost a little bit of his fastball. He's not as sharp-witted anymore. He's not as fiery anymore. He's old, and we really shouldn't be voting in people of his age anymore. The world has just become too advanced. These guys just don't know how to catch up. They can't. They're too old.
$18 trillion being spent. The record was $3 trillion many years ago, not by us, by another country. I won't say the country. Yeah, please.
Did you read those new files, Mr. President?
Have you been briefed on Savannah Guthrie's mom missing in Arizona?
I think it's terrible.
Would you commit to more federal agents, like helping out on the search?
Sure, I would. I'm going to call her later on. I think it's a terrible thing. I always got along very good with Savannah. Very unusual situation, but we're going to find out. Yeah, what do you want?
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned two names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten
You are the
justice?
worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile in your face. You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead.
Survivors of a sexual
You mentioned
abuser.
health care.
He's listen. He knows how to shut people down, and he knows how to double talk. That's what New Yorkers are. That's what make New Yorkers New Yorkers. But as I said, this whole thing is just fluff. Nothing will come of it. Trump's already, poo-pooing it away. And as soon as things may get a little bit heated, like this is the first batch, and I don't think there's going to be another batch, people will forget about this by next Sunday because the Super Bowl will take this all. We all know it's about bread and circuses. And then we will have our little war. We'll have our little bombing. We'll hit Iran. Iran will do something to us. And if it gets even worse than that, then we're up Schitt's Creek. But this Epstein file thing is a disgrace. It's a disgrace on the country. It's a horror of how these people will get away with anything, whether it's murder, rape of young children. It doesn't matter. We as a society honestly don't care. We don't. And that's the reason why they get away with it. As long as it's not our kids, as long as it's not somebody we know, we don't give a shit. And that's why, as Americans, we're the greatest sheep on the planet. We keep talking about other people being enslaved and, not living great lives and not having the freedom to do this and to do that. We have to look in the mirror. We have to look in the mirror and say, are we one of those people? Because we are. Can we go out and do whatever the fuck we want? Spend money, go to bars, go drink, watch porn? Oh yeah, all that shit. We could do all that shit. Question certain people. question the government, you will be taken care of immediately. And we all know that that's true, as this country just starts to be torn apart from the seams. With Minnesota, with what's happening in New York, it's a disaster up there. And now what's happening in Washington, D.C. with these Epstein dumps. It's just, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not really into this whole news cycle. It's just shit to me. But yeah, that's what you'll get from me from Epstein. If you might want to go somewhere else if you want to hear more, because there's so many of these podcasts that are spending 24-hour days and shows on this shit. And it's just, listen, it is what it is. And guess what? Again, if something were to happen, if there were people that were going to go to jail, I would be much more enthused. But I know nothing's going to happen. I know it. I was there in 1997, 98 when Bill Clinton lied under oath about having sex with Monica Lewinsky. Got caught lying. He admitted it on TV. Bill Clinton, nothing happened to him. You try lying under oath about a parking ticket, and they'll put you under the jail. That's the country we live in. And that's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, my friends, Satan is always busy. Be a man and have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you later.